Okay, so we want to write the line of best fit in slope-intercept form. So we have a scatter plot. They've already drawn the line modeling this scatter plot. So this line represents this data. And we want to write the equation for this line in slope-intercept form. There's going to be two possible situations. And we'll look at the easier one first. Yes. So the easiest one is when you know the y-intercept right away. Okay. So this is what we're going to be doing on IXL. And I'm going to highlight the points that are highlighted, I should say. So these are the 2 points. You'll see, notice in IXL there will be a different color. So they're telling you, I want you to work with these points. Okay, so you don't have to search them yourself. They're saying, okay, here's my line of best fit. And yeah, we're going to work with these 2 points. Now, the 2 things we need to write the equation is the slope and the y-intercept, right? Fortunately for us, we can tell the y-intercept right away. 7. You always look at your line and you see, can I easily find where it crosses the y-axis? I can. So I'm going to write that down. We're searching for M and B. And the B value is 7, okay? So you'll get some lines of best fit where you can already tell. It's going to cross somewhere on here. That's the easier version, okay? Now, the only other thing we need to do is figure out M. Let's see if you're right. I'm going to do rise over run. And we're going to go from one point to the other. And I think you may be right, because this looks to simplify. Let's see. I'm going down how many spots? 6. So that's -6. And I'm going across 8 spaces. And that's going to be -6/8. If we divide by 2, we get -3/4. So we have a slope. We have a y-intercept. We can write the equation. Y equals -3/4 x plus 7. Okay, so this is the easier version where the y-intercept comes right away. Okay, let's do another one like this. Any questions? Okay. The equation of the line of best fit.
This one's easy to look.
Yep, it's easy because again we can tell right away. So we're still hunting for our slope and the y-intercept. And the y-intercept again is easy to find. It's here, and then they also highlight these 2 points. Those will be the ones we work with. And what's our y-intercept? 8. 8. The line's crossing at 8 on the y-axis. Okay, now we'll find the slope. -4/9, you said?
Yeah.
I think you're right. Down 4, so it's -4 across 9 spaces. And can we reduce that? Yes. -4/9. Do they have a common number that I can divide out? No. 2's going here, 3's going there. Nothing in common. So it's negative 4/9 for the slope and 8 for the y-intercept. So let's write down the equation. Write it down. Y equals negative 4/9x plus 8. So whenever you see your line crossing somewhere on your grid, and you could tell the number that it crosses right away, this is the method to use. Okay? Why? Because you find out the b value right away, the y-intercept, and then all you have to do is rise over run to find the slope. You just put it together in point and slope intercept form. But you are going to run into some that look like number 3. Everybody ready? Let's take a look at number 3. So if I follow this line all the way down, this y-intercept is going to be a negative number, right? And I don't know what it is. We can still figure out the equation. It's going to be just slightly more difficult. Slightly. First things first, highlight those 2 points. Okay, focus on this, please. Focus on this. Let's highlight this point and highlight this point. Okay, the other thing I really want to do, I'm going to need one of the 2 coordinates. So I'm going to write down what the coordinates. What's the XY coordinate numbers for this point here? 1, 0. And then for this other point, it looks to be 7, 7. Okay. Because we're going to have to use the point slope form to figure out this equation. Okay? All right. Well, we're looking for M and B.
How would you figure out which one's like this?
Well, everything will be answered. Let's find the slope, since we can't tell the y-intercept number right away. So let's see. Ooh. And oops, up. So I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7/6. Okay, let's write that down. 7/6. Okay. So the b we can't find at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to use point slope form. Y, write this down. Y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. So we've used this quite a bit now. It should seem like an old friend or frenemy. Yeah. Friend and enemy at the same time. So we know the slope. We know what to put here. But we need an ordered pair to put in for x1 and y1. We have to make a decision. Do we pick 1, 0 or do we pick 7, 7? 1, 0. Take advantage of the 0. It's going to help us. So we're going to pick this point in our slope and plug it in. And it's going to be easy because we're going to have a 0 to work with. Watch. Y minus, the y value here is 0, so 0 equals our slope, parentheses, what is that? X minus 1. Okay. Yeah, let's simplify this. So the first thing is, we can do something here. Normally, we'd have a number other than 0, right? But since it's y take away 0, how can I simplify that? Just get, you don't need minus 0. Get rid of the 0. It's nothing. So it won't affect it. Y equals, now we have to distribute and multiply through. Okay. So this is going to be 7, 6 times x, right? 7, 6, 7 over 6 x. And then positive times negative is negative. And now imagine this was a number other than 1. We're going to have to do a little side math. Yeah, 7 over 6 times 1 over 1. And then let's multiply. 7 times 1 is 7. 6 times 1 is 6. So we get 7/6. And that's what's going to go here. Y equals 7/6x minus 7/6. Now, and that's our y-intercept. And it turns out to be the same number as the slope. Now, imagine if this wasn't a 1. Say it was like 3. Then you would do 7 times 3, 21. 6 times 1, 6. It would be 21/6. Sometimes you're going to end up with a fraction here. Okay?
Oh, so you leave the bottom one a 1?
Unless you can reduce it, yeah. Well, you leave it whatever answer you get. In this case, 6. Okay? So say we would have had a 2 here, 2 over 1. Then this would be 14, and 6 times 2 is 12. And 14 over 12 I could reduce by 2, so it would be 7/6. All right, let's go ahead and write that down. This is the answer. I know it looks kind of weird, but it's actually not that hard to find when you select this point here. Okay?
Or 0?
Yeah. Let's try that on our last
Why are
example.
you so cruel? We could have known it was 0 the whole time.
Well, now we do. Okay, so we're looking for our slope. Y-intercept's not possible. It's somewhere down here. We don't know what it is, but we'll get it. Okay, so let's identify the points that they gave us. They gave us this point, and they gave us this point. So this is 3, 0, and this is 6, 7. 6, 7. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. We got a rise. 7/3. Thank you. 7/3. Okay. So we have a slope, 7 over 3. Always ask yourself, can you reduce 7/3? Can I break down 7/3 any simpler? No, nothing goes into 7 and 3 that's common. Okay, so we're going to plug this into point slope again. Y minus y1, m parentheses x minus x1. Okay. No, it's back here. But since this is your notes, I want to be thorough. Okay. Again, which are we picking? 3, 0 or 6, 7? 3, 0, absolutely. So anything on 0 is good. Yes. Y minus 0 equals 7 over 3 parentheses x minus 3, because our x value is 3. Okay? So again, y take away 0 is just y. So simplify it as y. Then 7/3 times x. So now we're multiplying here. Okay? So I'm going to do 7/3 times x. Positive times a negative is a negative. So now I have to figure out what 7/3 times 3 is.
21
times 3 over 1. Remember, make the 3 a fraction by giving it a denominator of 1.
Oh, so 21 over 3.
21 over 3, yeah. So
7.
it's 21/3. If I simplify it down, it's 21 divided by 3, which it goes in evenly. It becomes Yes. Leave it as
So
7.
-7?
Minus 7. We'll do minus 7 in this case. So sometimes the y-intercept number is going to be fraction. Sometimes it's going to be just a whole number or integer. And now we know where this line crosses the y-axis, down here on the negative side. It's going to cross at -7. And this is the solution. And on IXL, this is what we're going to work on. We're looking for a SMART score of 50, but if you want to go further, you can get some extra points. 1 second.